37, the case of missing intern Chandra Levy rocked Capitol Hill back in 2001, in part because of her relationship with California Congressman Gary Condit. Now, another man, though, would be convicted for her death. Lisa Breckenridge is in the newsroom with some new developments on how that conviction happened and what we should think about it now.
Definitely some things changing. Lawyers for the man convicted of killing that Washington intern say they want a new trial, that the prosecution of their client was, quote, predicated on a lie. Igmar Gwandik is currently serving a 60-year prison sentence for killing Chandra Levy. The case against the illegal immigrant from El Salvador hinged on a jailhouse informant who said this guy had confessed to killing the intern. But in just unsealed documents, it shows prosecutors found out a year ago there was a problem with the witness. It is not known if that person was the informant or not. Now, there have been hearings that have been taking place since December in this case. They've been closed hearings, with the last one happening just last week. Those transcripts are still sealed. The next hearing will take place in April. But again, the hearings that have been unsealed, Jeff, so many pages have been marked out that it's hard to tell really what is going on at this point.
So do we think, let me bring in Robin Sachs here before we talk about our next thing. Thank you, Lisa, but stick with us here. Chime in if you want. Do we really think that this is going to go anywhere? Is this just an attorney's appeal to try to get his client off, or do we think there's really some substance to this?
I do think that there's substance to this. I mean, this is one of those cases that was very much based on a jailhouse informant, which automatically comes with the stank of the,
exactly.
If there's some smell, an odor, whenever you have a case completely being hinged on a confession that happens in a jail. But you would think that the prosecution had gone to some efforts to make sure that there was corroboration and other efforts. But I've been hearing this squeaky stuff about this case for several years, and it's finally making its way to the courtroom.
Okay, can I move this on? Because I'm actually interested in this. Our former guest laughed when I brought up this case. But
I like really, this.
Okay, I think it's a good talker. Okay,
tell them about it.
Has zero tolerance gone too far? Madison Guarna is 5 years old. Now, while she was waiting for her bus to take her to kindergarten, she told a couple other kids that she was going to, quote, shoot them with a Hello Kitty toy that makes bubbles. Now, according to Madison's mother, school officials suspended her little girl for making what they said was a terrorist threat. A terrorist threat. Robin Sachs is here. I'm incredulous at this. This is it's bubble gun.
I love you jumping out of your chair instead of me jumping out of my chair. So I had to put on my lawyer hat, my prosecutor hat, and I sat here and I thought, okay. And Maria just said, rules are rules. And there's, I think, a school of thought out there that does think rules are rules. But let's look at just even the juvenile court system for a second. Mm-hmm. The juvenile court system, if you commit a crime, a bona fide crime that a prosecutor would charge you for, the goal of the criminal justice system for juveniles is to rehabilitate, right? So they're trying to make you not do it again. They're not trying to punish you. They try to avoid jail. The philosophy is jail and punishment could make you worse, right? Mm-hmm. So schools with zero tolerance are basically having policy that is worse than the criminal justice system.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So my logic says, okay, so why does zero tolerance equal expulsion from school? Zero tolerance could be doing corrective behavior. We're not going to tolerate this. We're going to teach. But why does it mean that you get kicked out of school?
Well, zero tolerance in a lot of schools was put into effect to send a message. Right. To say we're not messing around with this.
Right.
Zero tolerance.
With guns. Bringing guns to schools. In 1994, that was where the original root of zero tolerance came. In 1994, there was federal legislation that said, if you bring a gun to school, you must expel that kid from school.
So then the question is, have we come to a place where zero tolerance has run its course, where we need to back off a little bit and say, let's look at everything on a case-by-case basis?
I think so. I mean, I think that the fact is that we always want to have these one-size-fits-all laws for a variety of things. And while it would be it would be very nice, it would be fabulous if we could do that. But the fact of the matter is there are individual circumstances in every case, and we're sitting here trying to teach kids to be able to differentiate scenarios and use logic in different scenarios. I mean, this is the lessons that you hope to get at school.
How are you teaching children anything with this? You're teaching them that they can't, they can't play with a toy. They can't say something that's make-believe because they're going to get in trouble. And by the way, zero tolerance thing, it wasn't just guns. Remember the case of the little boy who was, who the school said was sexually harassing his kindergarten friend because he tried to lean over and kiss her?
Oh, that? No, and it's also bringing alcohol to school and drugs and all of that stuff.
Well, I'll go with you on that one, but reaching over and try to kiss, kiss somebody on the cheek when you're 5 years old, it's being a boy.
Right. Well, and the bigger thing is that there's been studies that have been done, and their studies have shown that the zero tolerance policy has not changed the amount of violence.
There you go.
So here you have like this. Theoretically, the purpose of this is to stop and eradicate violence, and you're not even accomplishing that goal. So you and I are in agreement, which is so rare. We should just take a moment to celebrate that.
That's not true. We're in agreement a lot. You just don't want us to be. Coming up, everybody, in just a few